Hello Year 6 and welcome to today's English lesson. Now, before I talk about what we're doing today, it's important that you know what we're doing about next week. So next week, our last week of remote learning, we are going to be doing an explanation text, an explanation text, and we are going to be looking at you writing an explanation of how police detectives are able to solve crimes. Okay, so it will be like an A4 size, maybe 2, that describe, well, probably a little bit more because we're writing it over a few days, where you describe how the police are able to solve crimes. Okay, so to help us do that, we are going to spend 2 days collecting information. The first day is today, the second day is Monday. On Monday, there's going to be a special guest visitor who is a police officer who will talk about how they do it all. But today, we're going to use some little extracts from a book to help us collect notes. Now, as you collect notes, I want you to think about this success criteria. Okay, so working through each one. Stuff like making sure that we use subheadings to organise our writing into different sections. Make sure we use bullet points and don't have to write in full sentences. Making sure that we don't just copy information down off the text or off the internet. Okay, it's illegal, you're not allowed to just steal someone else's work. Making sure that we don't copy stuff unless we actually understand it. Okay, we need to be able to understand it. And the easiest way for me to show this by doing this is to get into the screen. So I'm going to show you how I'd collect a little bit of notes from some of the stuff, and then you'll be having a go of it yourself. And as always, Year 6, the harder you work today, the easier it will be next week when you come to write this. If you don't collect much information, next week when we come to write it, you're not going to have a clue, okay? Unless you are a police officer, or you have like someone in your house that you can ask who is a police officer, which I think for most of us isn't the case. So Year 6, let's get into my screen. Hello Year 6. So, like I was saying, we are looking at collecting notes, and I'm going to show you how I start to do that in a minute. But let's think about this success criteria. So, we're going to use subheadings to organise our notes into different sections. We're going to use bullet points and just partial sentences, so we don't need to write in full sentences today. Okay, we just need to get that key information. If we're writing in full sentences, that's going to slow us down and we're not going to be able to collect as much. We're never going to copy something exactly from a book or from the internet. We might write definitions of unfamiliar words, that's the one I forgot to mention a minute ago. And then we're never going to write something down unless we understand it, or unless we're able to work out what it means. Okay, so let's just have a little go at doing this. So, to help us do this, I'm going to have to be a bit fancy with my screen. Might have to throw that over there. And I put this over here. Okay, so this is the information page that's got all the information on. We've kind of covered that. Remember, how do you work today? These will be next week. And then here you've got information. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages, quite a lot of pages of information to help you as you write this. Okay, so I'm just going to let's look at the first page. So the first page is about securing the scene, okay? Now, I don't just want to copy that subheading, but I will use something very similar, okay? So I'm going to use, instead of securing a scene, I'm going to use, let me type. Why not letting me type? 1 minute, let me put me down here. There we go. Let's make this a bit bigger. 1 minute. Let's make this like 25 here. And then we'll go back to being small again. Sorry. It's hopefully a bit bigger for you. So, making a scene safe and secure is going to be my subheading. And then I'm going to use bullet points to organise what it is that I want to write. So I'm just going to read it. In the past, policemen walked around a scene of crime and handled evidence with their bare hands. Today, at the scene of a serious crime, only authorised personnel are allowed past the police warning tape. Okay, so I'm going to put that about only authorised personnel. Only authorised. Is it with a Z? Don't know, I'll have to check that. It's not personnel, I'm just going to change people. Allowed. Let's move this out of the way. At the scene. Now, I might not know what authorised people mean, so I'm going to put necessary and allowed people. Only authorised people gain access. Yes. gain access to the scene. Okay, the investigators record evidence on the spot with photographs, sketches, notes, and measurements, and then take away. Okay, some information recorded at scene, and I'll put stuff like photos, notes, measurements. Okay, and then it says, and then taken away essential evidence. Okay. Most important evidence taken away. Move me out of the way a little bit because I'm getting in the way. My screen is busy. And then it says speed is vital. Speed is vital. Witnesses are located and questioned while memories are still fresh, and physical evidence is preserved before it altered by time or weather. So things must happen quickly. And I'll put in brackets, talking to witnesses, collecting evidence. This precious window of opportunity is known as the golden hour, and I'll put in there just the golden hour. Okay, so I've just looked at this one paragraph at the minute, okay, and when we think about it, there is, even on this page, there's the other bit here, there's more information down here, there's all of this information. But just looking at that one paragraph, I'm going to need to make this smaller. Even just using that one paragraph, I've managed to collect like this 4 pieces of information. Now that is just in text at the minute. When I come to write it, I could add a lot more information to that, okay? So that is the kind of thing, Year 6, that I'm looking for you to do today. So work your way through those 8 pages, collecting the most important information and going through this. So if I think about my success criteria, I've used a subheading, making a scene safe. I can't say that, making a scene safe and secure. I've used bullet points to organize my writing. I've not written in full sentences. I've never copied something exactly. I've always kind of written it in my own words or just used little bits of information. Anything I was unfamiliar with, like this authorized, I've written what I think what that means. Some of us might need to use an online thesaurus to help us do that. And I've never written something down unless I understand it. I understand what all of this means. That golden hour, what that means is that you have like this 1 hour to get stuff done before it's maybe too late. Okay? So Year 6, your task for today. Use the information that I have given you on the sheet, just loads of information. Use my examples, and like I've said a million times, the harder you work today, the easier it will be next week. Okay, the more information you collect today, the easier it is going to be next week when you come to write it. On Monday, like I said at the beginning, we will be having a special visitor. I'm a detective who I'll give a little interview with, who we'll be able to get more information from. But the more information you get today, the better position you're going to be in next week. Okay, Year 6, work hard, and I will see you later. Goodbye.